Hello everyone, in this video I'll be showing you an Artificer Armorer Build guide in Baldur's Gate 3. Now this class just got released on console and we got some cool combinations that we can do with this. Now I'll be using some base game armor and showing off the best choices for armor as well as combat in this video. So with the Artificer here, we're going to go with our cantrips. I think it's best to have Thorn Whiff. Pulling creatures towards you is always nice, especially if you can't make it towards them. This is good for being able to get them into the right position. Maybe a Warlock can Eldritch Blast them off of a cliff. And then also Shocking Grasp is nice if you need to get away, or even Firebolt for exploding. We get other cantrips at higher levels. Now, for the armor, it makes the most sense to take Shield. +5 to armor class is huge. And then we'll also go with our Magic Missile here for guaranteed damage, because sometimes you won't be in range to be able to hit someone with an attack, so it's nice to have that there. And for the subclass, we're choosing the Armorer. Now, the special benefits that we get from this is the Thunder Gauntlets here. Your melee attacks deal additional 1 to 4 thunder damage and have a chance to inflict Compelled to Duel. Then we also got ourselves the Infiltrator Lightning Launcher for ranged weapons dealing additional 1 to 4 lightning and can inflict shock on the target. And the Resistant Armor, you can gain resistance to an elemental damage type until long rest with your infusion slots. Now, this is fun. It also is able to adapt to any situation in combat. For our ability scores and skill proficiency, I also always like taking Persuasion. Now, we're going to go with 16 Dexterity, 14 Constitution, and 18 Intelligence. This is going to be our main spellcasting modifier, so it's important. Dexterity, you may be like, no, strength's better for a class like this, but actually if you want to have the highest armor class possible, dexterity is the way to go. You can also build around strength if you want to. In that case, you would take 16 strength, but we're going to go with this here for the stats. We don't really have to put any more into intelligence. We're going to have a high spellcasting modifier early on. So I'll go over again the gear later on and show off it in combat. So this is a very fun one, guys. I love the Artificer. This is made by Echo 0000. They did a fantastic job with this. Now, kind of funny, it clips the hair through this helmet, but I digress. We'll also take Thunderwave here for our spell and Long Strider. The increased movement speed is really nice. Grease can also be useful, but we do get a lot of options for spells here in this, so we'll go with something else later on. So the best inventions here, I would say, is taking the Reactive Shield. Whenever you're hit with a spell that requires a dex save, you can use your shield to reduce it. Obviously, for an armor, we're going to be using shields, so that's nice. You can also increase our reactions here with this, and we can also hide all allies within 9 meters, which is nice, or cast Help for free. This is actually a pretty useful one on this class, so we can go with that. But also, I do like Quick Toss for the throw using a bonus action, because throwing is extremely useful. It's like wild. You can throw potions, you can throw Nyrulna and have it return to your hands. We get an Arcane Jolt at level 3, and we get the right tools for the job. Once for short rest, we can summon Thieves' Tool, Disarming Kit, Shovel, or Bottle of Water, and it just disappears after 5 turns. And we also get the Guardian Defensive Field, so at the start of turn, get 3 temporary health points. If damaged, we cause 3 force damage. And then we also get ourselves the Infiltrator Power Steps. Receive 3 meters of movement speed and your jump doesn't cost a bonus action. And we get to a few more spells here. I think Scorching Ray is a solid one. Shatter can be nice too, so that's a little bit of a damage in area of effect. However, we want to take Mirror Image, increase armor class by 9. That's huge. We become pretty much unhittable at that point. We also get proficiencies. We already have heavy armor proficiencies, so we can go with something like the hand crossbow or any type of weapon proficiency that you want to use for this. Great swords work well too. Now at level 4 here, we get another choice in spells. Melf's Acid Arrow and Shatter are 2 solid ones, but you can go with Grease or Healing Word. And we get 2 more infusements. I guess the previous ones I took were the increased armor class and increased weapon attack rolls. This one we can go with like advantage and concentrations, increase to our spell attack rolls. We can add intelligence monitor to dexterity checks if we want to. One of these is good. Add homing to a weapon's fun too. And we'll go with an ability score proven to take up our dexterity. This is going to make our class very strong defensively and get higher initiative. Now we also get our subclass feature extra attack at level 5, and we get a bonus action Thunder Gauntlets that increased from 1d4 to 2d8, and same thing with our Lightning Launcher. So this will continue to scale with damage. We get another cantrip, and we get to choose a couple spells here. So we don't get any increased level spells. It's kind of lagging. Normally at level 5 you get level 3 spells. We get those at level 6. So once we hit level 6, you can see here now we can get our Fireball, our Haste, which will further increase our armor class. Lightning Bolt's nice too for straight line attacks, and we get some new infusements, so we can increase our fusions. We can increase or give ourselves a level 3 spell slot. Reflect damage, that one actually probably works best for this build, and we'll take the other one at next level. And we get to choose 2 more inventions. So we'll take our Quick Toss here, because throwing as a bonus action is huge. As long as you don't have any actions that you can use, and being able to throw as a bonus action is nice. Elemental Adaptation is nice, so if you become vulnerable to Force, Lightning, or Thunder, and then once you get hit with it, you become immune to it for the rest of combat, which can actually be pretty effective. We can also store infusions after short rest, which I think is pretty nice too. just depends how you want to build it. The inventions are just what you find you fit in, like what you want for your role on your team. This is more of a tankier class, so there are some that just make sense, like being able to help your downed allies. We also get some more spells here, Conjure Barrage and Fireball being two really fun ones there, and we get another proficiency in a weapon. So I'm going to take Trident proficiency because Nirolna is really useful. Sometimes you don't have an attack, but you can just throw Nirolna. And we get to choose another spell here. I think Ice Storm is the most effective. Being able to create icy surfaces is fantastic. And Glyph of Warding is great too. Now we also get we'll take our level 3 spell for free, and we can go with an ability score improvement to buff our dexterity up to 20. The reason that I want to go dexterity because Valor Alluve is a dexterity based weapon, and also we can add that to our armor class with some armor, so it becomes really strong that way. We get Magical Item Adept, get a +1 to bonus attack damage in armor class and saving throw, and we get a +1 to all saving throws. Our lightning steps pre-launch or power steps deals 2d lightning damage and 1 to 6 lightning. You have a chance to block Radiating Orb, True Strike, and Shocked, and 3 meters movement speed in your bonus jump doesn't cause a bonus action. What's nice about the jump not costing a bonus action, I'll show you, there's a hammer that actually works really well with this. And then for our cantrips here, Wall of Fire can be decent, and even greater invisibility can be nice if you want to go stealthy. And then we can take a great sword weapon. It's really your choice in terms of what type of weapon you want to go with for this, but you can even go with like a Maul proficiency. I think that there's a really good one here that works well with the jumping, so you can go that route. We also got Cone of Cold at this level, and if you got a Necromancer team, Cloud Kill's nice. A Banishing Smite's also really good. We also get ourselves the free Misty Step here, and we get to pick 2 more infusements. So our infusions, I would recommend adding intelligence modifier to ranged weapon attack rolls, because sometimes you will be using ranged attacks, and this will give you an arcane jolt when you land a critical hit, which is also really nice. So that is a good choice there. At level 11, we get ourselves more proficiencies, and we get the perfected armor, which gives us basically the benefits of both. So we deal 2d8 thunder damage with melee attacks, you can inflict compelled to duel, you get 11 temporary health, you cause 11 force damage, you get hit, and 12 at next level. After an enemy hits you, you can try to pull it, and you get a free melee attack. Ranged weapon attacks deal 2d8 lightning, 1 to 6 lightning whenever you move, and then you inflict Shocked, Radiating Orb, and True Strike, and your jump doesn't cost bonus action. So this becomes pretty crazy. We also got our spells here, so you don't get level 6 spells, the only unfortunate thing. So take what you find works best there, and pick your spells according to pick your weapon proficiency according to what you find most useful for you, because there's different weapons depending on where you're at in the game, so you can always respec and take different ones. Death Ward can actually work well on this, and Sanctuary for some actual tankiness. Advantage and Concentration's nice. And then for our final one, we can go with Alert. We can also go Great Weapon Master if you want to get that free bonus action attack, or we can also go like Sentinel to be able to use our opportunity attacks, which is nice. Even like something like the Savage Attack, which will reroll our damage die, is pretty fun. Or even going with the Alert feat to move first. Now, what this looks like in terms of armor, I'm going with pretty OP armor here, so it's not the true pick that I would pick here, so I'll put on the real armor. I think that the armor persistence is a good choice. This gives us 26 armor class, or if we add the shield, it'll be 29 armor class. But if you go with the armor of agility, this can make our armor class 31, so that's obviously very strong. And then if you were to equip the Baldur and Giant Slayer, that gives us a 20 or 32 armor class, which is very, very powerful. And then also we got the Helldusk Gloves for increased spell save DC, Ring of Protection, Boots of Protection, Cloak for all that extra bonus. And then also Amulet of Greater Health and Killer Sweetheart. Some extra synergies. We also got the Hammerhaft here, which whenever you jump, you deal 1 to 4 light thunder damage and a 3-meter radius. So since our jumps don't actually use bonus actions, we can just spam jumps with this, and it actually becomes pretty crazy. I'm going to stick with the Valor Alluve for our weapon. Although you can also go with Nirolna here, because this is actually a really good weapon, and the bonus action throw just gives us an extra attack too. I'm also using a steampunk weapon mod, so this is not like something that's on console yet, but hopefully it will come soon. I still think it looks great with this mod and the Artillerist, so I recommend using that. Now we can even further increase our armor class by using this here, which will give us a +2 to our armor class. Gain resistance to an elemental damage type, so you can pick an elemental damage type, give yourself resistance to it. Necrotic damage is very common in this game. And then we can also apply our perfected armor, so this will give us all those extra benefits. So you can see our armor class is already raising up to 34 there, and then whenever we use our mirror image, this further increases our armor class. This is about to get crazy. There's a few other effects here. We can reflect ranged damage, so that's nice too. So I already used our perfected armor. I meant to go with our mirror image here, and then I'll get my lovely assistant Gale to go ahead with a free haste, and with the haste we will be able to give ourselves an additional 2 armor class, so even further increasing the skill of this class. So you'll see here we got ourselves 45 armor class. That's ridiculous. So a whopping 45 AC, very strong obviously, and we'll just go right into a combat encounter here. I didn't even roll a great initiative and we still got to go first. So what we want to be doing in combat is getting up in the face of the enemy with our 45 armor class. We're nigh unhittable. And then what we can do is we can drop spells down, or we can go with throwing for bonus action damage. So we can start off. I'm not even going to go crazy hard here. We just did acid attack. I meant to hit them with it. And then also we got our banishing smite, which is pretty effective. We got ranged weapon attacks too, so we can go with a ranged attack and use that. Oh, we just took them straight out. And we'll go ahead with another gunshot here. Hopefully it won't take them out in one shot. Executioner, boom, that took them out in one shot. Yeah, we're pretty strong with this gun. And then as a bonus action, you got the ability to throw, so we can go ahead here and throw Nirolna. And what's crazy about that is it's literally just a bonus action attack that hits for that much damage. And I didn't even take Tavern Brawler. We could have went with Tavern Brawler to further enhance this. They're never going to hit us. We got too much armor class to be hit, so you can be blinded though. That's one thing that can happen. So whenever that happens, we just go deal with the perpetrator here, so we can just go ahead with our attack. Just going with a regular attack here. Needs a 10 to hit, rolled 28. Compelled a duel got inflicted on them. They broke their concentration. And that's the nice thing, is we can apply a bunch of thunder damage. And then with our range attacks, we got lightning damage. So pretty crazy. And he's just going to be done here. This will take him out likely. Yeah, that's crazy. I'll now show this off against the guards so you can see it in a great large amount of combatants. Now in a lot of fights where you can set up, it's nice to drop a glyph of warding down, because this can just be some easy damage that you can just put at some area without even really having to worry too much about anything. And then you can drop like a wall of fire somewhere as well if you got a concentration. So there's a lot of options for damage, which is nice. So you can go with, I'll just try not to hit anyone, and then we'll start combat in a second. Unfortunately, I will hit people, but this is fun because you can with a class like this, you got so many options for damage, so you can just drop things like this down. If you know that you're going to get into a fight, you can go that route, and we'll just we'll wait that out, and then we'll get into another, wait till we can turn base mode it again, and then we'll attack. So what's nice about this is it's going to blow up and deal a ton of damage. This is some pretty crazy trickery, so we can hit them with the ice, creates an ice surface, and then once they become combatants, that's going to blow up and deal lightning damage. And then we have the wall of fire there. So yeah, everyone's running around slipping on the ice, and I didn't roll a great initiative, so they're attacking me, but our armor class is so unbelievably high, and we could just run away because we have an ice surface and fire set up, which is funny that it didn't melt the ice, but sometimes that's the way it goes. Now we can also drop down like a cone of cold here. What's fun about that is if you have the snowburst ring, you can deal additional frost damage on the targets, or you can create an ice surface on the ground too. So that hit and took out everyone there, and then we can drop a fireball on these folk over here and hopefully take them out. It doesn't make me run. I ran into the wall of fire. That's fine. We knock them out, and then what we can do, since there's so many enemies around here, is we can go with our, I guess we could go with like a attack here. A bonus action attack, like throwing our Nirolna would be pretty ideal, so that's probably the route that I'll go with this. And we'll take Nirolna and throw right there and hopefully hit them with the thunder. Nice, that took them out. So you can see we can do a lot in a turn, especially with haste. We can apply a bunch of different crowd control effects. We can also fool them into using or hitting themselves with the fire damage. So the wall of fire is actually pretty effective at times, because for some classes they will have to use a ranged weapon attack, but our armor class is so high that a lot of these hits won't even hit, so that's fun. We'll just take care of the enemies right here. We don't have too many left. We took out a majority of them already, which is pretty funny. But as I mentioned, Cone of Cold is probably one of your best choices for damage. I took out both of them there, and then we can drop a fireball or a upcasted shatter over there, and fireball does some pretty good damage too. So boom, we hit them there, and there's one target left, so with that we can go and throw Nirolna again and hopefully take them out. Good, we made it. And that took them out. So, as you can see, this is a very powerful build. I wouldn't go as far as say it's OP per se, because like the sword bard can do this plus more, but yeah, that bonus action throw really opens up our combat abilities quite a bit. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. Hit the subscribe button below if you haven't already. Shouts out to Echo0000 for making this fantastic mod. I hope you have a great day, and we'll see you all in the next video.